What's going on YouTube? So Cadillac has been experiencing a big resurgence lately, riding on a wave of new products. Today we're in San Francisco with the latest addition to their lineup, the OPTIQ, and this is competing in one of the most important luxury segments. So, is it time to trade in your traditional BMW X3 or Tesla Model Y for this? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Now, getting into the exterior design, this is a place where the OPTIQ really stands out. It takes the design language that Cadillac's been rolling out through some of their recent products, kind of beginning with the Lyriq. It does have those same design elements, but OPTIQ gives you a more sporty vibe overall. So up in the front, you'll notice you've got a sleek grille. This design here is going to be fully illuminated, of course, going through and in your logo, and you have some entry and exit animations. Your lower fascia here is gloss black, giving you a little bit more of an aggressive look. And in terms of your trim level structures, you are going to have both luxury and sport trim levels. This is the Luxury 2 version, which is going to have some chrome elements, but if you get the sport version, that's going to black these elements out. Now heading over here to our headlights, of course you've got that signature Cadillac waterfall design. Standard full LEDs with the crystal design kind of going all the way down through there. The two models gives you the additional cornering lamps, and again you have those animations and dynamic turn signal indicators throughout. Now moving on to the wheels, this is a very well-equipped vehicle as standard, and that means you will get 20-inch alloy wheels. You can option on 21-inch alloys, which is what we have today. There's various different designs you can choose from, kind of darkened and more aggressive ones, or the ones with a little bit of contrast like you see here. Regardless though, you're going to get the gloss black surrounds for the wheel arches as well as the lower part of the body. Subtle Cadillac logo located right there. Same gloss black finish up here on our mirrors. And I'm surprised that all models get the fully loaded mirrors. So that means you have power folding, auto dimming on the driver's side, in addition to heating and blind spot monitoring on all trims.
Now at the side of the OPTIQ, we're going to come in at an overall vehicle length of 189.6 inches, which for reference is about 10 inches shorter than the Cadillac Lyriq, but it does place it very similar to other compact luxury SUVs. Additionally, as far as design is concerned, there's kind of a lot going on. First of all, we do have the available two-tone black roof. I think that really spices up the exterior design. And by the way, this vehicle is available in a lot of really bold colors. So if you want something a little spicier than the silver, you can certainly get that in the OPTIQ lineup. Now, this rear quarter panel is also going to be finished in a very cool glass layering technology. It has a very unique design overall. I really never have seen it on any other vehicle. Now, as we head around to the rear of the OPTIQ, you will once again see that this is a little bit sportier than something like a Cadillac Lyriq. It does have a little bit of an aggressive design to it. We do have a big spoiler up here at the top, and I do want to point out you're not going to have a rear wiper because the slope of the glass, Cadillac says you don't need one, and then you're also going to have another little spoiler down on this piece. And then as far as the lighting back here, you're going to have a separated unit. So this is very similar to something like a Cadillac Escalade IQ, for instance, and it's going to be very premium as well. So every single piece in here is LED, including your turn signal, your brake light, and your reverse light, and it's also going to have those same animations just like in the front. As we drop down to the lower fascia, this is all finished in a piano black, as well as a little bit of silver accenting. As far as your tow rating, it comes in at 1,500 pounds, which is about 2,000 less than the Cadillac Lyriq for reference. Now, as far as your safety systems are concerned, I'm very happy to tell you Cadillac is including every active safety feature as standard equipment, and that's even going to include things like their Super Cruise system. You get a free trial for 3 years with this model, and that's regardless of what trim you select. But guys, I think you're also going to be very impressed with what Cadillac has done on the inside, so let's dive into that. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. All right, now it's time to check out the interior First, we'll take a quick look at the key fob. Just the typical Cadillac key fob. You do have a standard smart entry system, and you have the ability to precondition the cabin right there. Now, as far as getting inside the vehicle itself, as you can see, we have the flush mount door handles, so it's just kind of one of those situations you push in like that, pull it out, and the door will open up. Now, take a look at this interior. As you can tell, just like with the exterior, Cadillac's really pursuing a bold luxury strategy, which is going to grab a lot of attention. And let's kind of just go ahead and get into those seats, because I think that's what is getting that attention right from the start here. So you've got standard IntelliLux. What that is basically a faux leather. It's going to be very realistic looking and feeling, though. So as you can see, these seats have a lot of contrast stitching details and perforation. We've got the piping down the sides. Overall, very, very comfortable, very plush, and again, quite realistic feeling. This color is called Phantom Blue. It's available on your Sport 2 and Luxury 2. Obviously, you can get a little bit more subdued color options, but regardless, they've kind of worked to add little splashes of color into all the interior options and some unique materials we'll talk about in just a little bit. As far as the seats are concerned, the adjustment is up here. It's going to be a standard 12-way power adjusting seat. You also have memory seats, and then this button right here activates your lumbar massage, which is surprisingly a standard feature. But let's go ahead and climb on inside. Now, right as soon as I shut the door, that's where I really start to notice the material quality and solidity difference versus something like a Tesla Model Y. We really have just a lot of solidity to this cabin, and again, those unique materials. So over here in our door trim, we have more of the blue leatherette going on all through here. Cadillac's using real metal for our door handle and our beautiful etched speaker grille. And as we move to the upper door trim, we're going to see kind of a fabric material. This is actually a recycled polyester yarn, kind of in that matching blue color. Upper dash is a soft touch plastic. We've got more layering of the materials going on with the cloth. We have kind of a white accent through the center section. We have a faux wood, which is actually derived from recycled newspaper. And if you look closely, you can actually see little letters inside of the trim itself. Overall, it's just a super unique interior that, again, feels very solid, very plush, and just stands out versus the more normal luxury options out there. So let's go ahead and dive right into the individual details. And there's no better place to begin than our technology right up here, front and center. So this is a single piece 33-inch display. It's a curved OLED display, which Cadillac says has a 9K resolution. It's absolutely just a beautiful looking display. Not overwhelming really or anything like that. It's just kind of right here, driver focused, and again, just looks absolutely stunning. In terms of the gauge cluster itself, of course, it's reconfigurable, so you can switch some different designs on board. This is just the Google Map view. And then over here on the side, you have some various vehicle controls, such as how you adjust your head-up display. Now, if you get the Luxury 2 or the Sport 2, that will give you this very large head-up display. There's a ton of information inside of it. Very impressive, and certainly helps navigating a downtown environment like San Francisco. Now, pulling back to the steering wheel, we got the latest Cadillac design on board. It does have the leatherette wrapping around the edges and heating on all trim levels. The wheel itself is manual, tilt, and telescoping. Now, let's talk about interior storage, because obviously going on the electric platform, we have more flexibility with packaging, and indeed they have taken advantage of that. We'll open up our center console. First of all, you've got a little tray here that's obviously removable, and then inside you're going to find some, looks like road sickness medicine. That's not included with the car. I don't know why that's in there, but we've got a little felt line down at the bottom. This is not itself all that large, but we have a lot more storage you're going to see in just a second. This is your wireless phone charging pad, so you just kind of set your phone in like so. And then as we pull forward, this is where you have a lot of flexibility in terms of sticking things. It has a nice carpet inside, and then you've got another storage shelf, which is quite deep, I will say. Storage is inside of the door trims as well. Now, of course, we have our shifter up here on the column, like most recent General Motors vehicles. Pull down for drive. bump up for reverse. When you go into reverse, you'll either see the traditional backup camera or this 360-degree camera. This is on Luxury 2 and Sport 2, and you can switch between a few different views like so. Resolution is pretty good, not overly exciting for a vehicle in this segment. And then down in this area, of course, you've got this controller. This will control the infotainment system, or it's a touchscreen as well. And then in front of that, we have our volume slider for the audio system. Now, this is kind of a big point for this model because it comes standard with a 19-speaker AKG premium audio system. And not only that, this is the first Cadillac that's going to come with Dolby Atmos technology, which means it's kind of lays out your music in a 3D space. If you're streaming using something like Amazon Music, which does support that technology, you can actually hear instruments coming from different places inside of the cabin. But without further ado, let's give it a sample. Yeah, this is certainly a very powerful sounding sound system. It really fills up the cabin nicely. Good balance, good bass, and it sounds good with a wide variety of music options. Okay, so we'll move on and head into the climate controls next. What you're looking at is a dual zone automatic climate control system. I'm very happy that it actually retains physical climate controls, so you can easily adjust with these nice metal toggles your temperature and your zones right through there. Your heated and ventilated seat controls are on the door trim. Heated seats are standard equipment. Ventilated seats are on Sport or Luxury 2 trim levels. Now, as far as the infotainment side of this large display, this is going to include Google built in. So this is kind of the latest GM software. That means you can have things like Google Maps right here natively in the system itself. This works quite nicely. It's overall very responsive. Now, one thing you won't find on this model, though, is Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That's because as an electric General Motors product, they've decided to eliminate that across their lineup. So no Android Auto, no Apple CarPlay, but you will get those built-in Google apps, which work quite nicely. Advanced ambient lighting comes in your two models. So as you can see, you can change through just different designs, which actually have layers of different colors, lower and upper. And then as far as our mirror is concerned, we've got the digital camera rear view mirror. Up top here, you'll notice that we've got the panoramic sunroof, a really nice large piece of glass. It is fixed in place, but one thing I like is that even compared to things like the Escalade IQ, this one does retain a power sunshade.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the rear seat area in this Cadillac OPTIQ. Now, when it comes to this, I've been very pleasantly surprised with my time in this rear seat. We actually have spent quite a bit of time riding around in the back of this model this week, and certainly it is a very comfortable place to spend time. First of all, I'll just say that these back seats are very plush. They are also very soft and supportive. Now, let's talk about space, because I think you're also going to be pretty pleasantly surprised by this. We are sitting at 38 inches of rear legroom, 39 inches of headroom. So that does mean for someone who's 5'9" like myself, you're going to have plenty of room. This seat is adjusted to Drew, who is 5'8", and look at that. We're about 8.5 inches of knee room. My feet can also easily slide up underneath of the seat, and like I said, it is a very comfortable rear seat. Now, do be aware, the rear seat does not recline, so this is going to be the only way that you can sit in the back. We also do have two cup holders in the center section. And then as far as other features, we have vents down below. At least here on the Luxury 2 model, we're going to have heated back seats. That's really quite nice. And we have a household outlet as well as two USB-C ports. Another little storage cubby down here for some loose objects. As far as the door trim is concerned, once again, made of really nice, cool materials. I think it's a very unique looking door trim, kind of that recycled material up in the front. We have metal speaker grills going through the center section, lots of leatherette, and then we also have quite a bit of bottle storage. Walking up to the tailgate, they are including the Power Auto Sense tailgate, so as you approach the vehicle, it'll go ahead and beep and open up. That's going to be standard equipment. And let's go ahead and talk about the cargo capacity in the Optic. This is going to be an area that's rather interesting with this vehicle because behind this second row of seats, you actually have more space than in the Lyriq, 26 cubic feet. Now, if you fold the seats down, you have 57 cubic feet, which is slightly less than the bigger brother Cadillac Lyriq, but not by a significant margin at all. This is very similar space-wise to that bigger brother model. Also, it's very similar space-wise to most of the other compact luxury SUVs that you could be cross-shopping with on the gasoline side. And by the way, if you do want to see how this vehicle would rank against some of those gasoline luxury compacts, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. There we've gone through every single one of the options. There are a ton of different luxury compact SUVs, and we've ranked them in individual categories that might matter more or less to you, such as technology, cargo space, powertrain choices, as well as other categories. So you'll definitely want to check that out and see the different options that you could be getting at this price point. Now, back to the Optic. The seats fold 60-40 split. There are not any handles to fold them from back here, so you just reach up. It's going to be, decently easy to do that. If you're on the shorter side, though, I would say that might be a little problematic. Once we get those seats folded down, they do fold completely flat with the loading floor. Let's get our cargo length, width, and height figures. This is a Car Confections review after all. From behind Drew's 5'8" driving position, we're sitting at exactly 6 feet, 72 inches of cargo length. From behind the second row of seats, 36 inches, or 3 feet. It's all about the even numbers here. And then 42 inches is our cargo opening. Overall cargo height is about 26 inches, so a little bit shorter than a lot of other SUVs. And keep in mind, down here at the end, you're only looking at about 16 inches of cargo height. As far as the cargo opening, how much you have to lift off the ground, about 28 inches off the ground. Underneath of the cargo floor, there's a little bit of extra space, good enough for things like your charge cable, but there is not going to be a spare tire.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what powers this new Optic. When you look under the hood, you might think you have a gas engine actually, because it kind of looks like it, but this is a full electric product. So what you're gonna have, standard equipment, is about an 85 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack. This model comes standard with dual motor all-wheel drive. There's not gonna be a rear drive offering available, and that means you're always going to have 300 horsepower. Torque on that is going to be 354 pound-feet of torque. And then, of course, the all-important range number. This gets pretty impressive range of 302 miles. Now, in terms of your charging, DC fast charge will give you 79 miles of range in about 10 minutes. Now, Cadillac is promising that this Optic is going to be a little bit sportier than something like their existing Lyriq model, and we can't wait to put that to the test. However, we do have a driving impressions embargo in place right now until the date down below me. That means that until that date, we cannot share with you how this vehicle drives. But we wanted to go ahead and show you all the beautiful exterior as well as the unique interior and features out here in the natural daylight for the very first time. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer for those driving impressions, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
And now let's discuss pricing for this Cadillac Optic. Now, we have mentioned that it has a lot of compact luxury rivals, such as the Tesla Model Y, and it does have a very similar price point as well. So we're starting at $52,895. Keep in mind you have standard all-wheel drive. And then on the very top end, the Sport 2, the price difference between the trims isn't much, $55,595. Now, if you want one as tested today, we do have a few options. You can see those on the screen right now, but overall, it's still a very affordable luxury EV, if you ask me. And it is worth noting, of course, federal regulations are changing all the time. However, this is made in Mexico. It is under that SUV price threshold, so you may be able to qualify for that $7,500 tax rebate as well. Now, as far as this vehicle going on sale, it's actually already on sale, so you can go pick one of these Cadillac Optics up at your local dealership. And speaking of buying one, if you're looking to buy a Cadillac OPTIQ or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that'll connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation and can help the dealers to start competing on price. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. But guys, buying a vehicle is about more than just the original MSRP, so let's dive into resale and reliability. First up, let's talk about resale value. As an economics graduate myself, Drew and I took the time to develop what we think is a good estimate for this Cadillac OPTIQ's potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years and 60,000 miles, it'll be worth 40.7% of original MSRP, and after 10 years and 120,000 miles, 14.6%. Now, it's worth noting that is very much on par with other luxury manufacturers such as BMW, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz. And do be aware that this is an electric product, so sometimes that can positively or negatively affect your resale value a little bit more than the gasoline options.
Now, we've also done the same for reliability by developing the Combined Reliability Index. This takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. In this regard, when updated to our latest 2025 data, Cadillac is above the overall industry average.
Now, if you'd like to learn more about our resale values, reliability data, or our methodology, be sure to go to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Buying a new vehicle is a very big decision, and you want to make sure you're making a smart purchase, especially if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle brands. And when it comes to your warranty, Cadillac is including a quite good one. It is a 4-year, 50,000-mile basic warranty. You do also have a battery-specific warranty of 8 years and 100,000 miles, and you get 1 complimentary service visit. And guys, that's going to wrap up our in-depth review of the 2025 Cadillac OPTIQ. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, which we hope you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to get the latest car reviews such as this, and you're also going to be a part of our Car Confections family. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.